I am here with Shaw ahead of the next map. I gotta ask you, what was kind of the mental reset to get back for map 2, and then why did it look so fluid throughout?
I think Bind is a bad map for us, and we drill a lot, some executions on ABs and the different maps we played today. And I think we have a good draft for today, and the team play very comfortable in this draft. Basically, it's this.
All right, Shaw, thanks for the insight. Best of luck.
One thing is for certain, Furia were definitely feeling a bit more comfortable in that second map than the first. They pick up a massive win, tying the series up 1-1. You can see for Artson getting to Santiago, that is all that matters. And they are now just 2 games away from being able to do that. But it is a long, long journey for Furia. Let's go ahead and talk about what we just saw, though, in that game. Look at you 2 knuckleheads over there. What are you doing? What are you causing problems for me right now?
Nothing. I was trying to get her with
You're trying to get her.
I was trying to get her with the
Shenanigans. All right, focus up.
Yes.
All right,
I'm
serious mode here. No, but seriously, we got to talk about Alum. I mean, the guy was absolutely insane. Very good player. Mimi, are the one person who's been straight and narrow on the desk the entire time?
Yeah.
Go ahead, give us the hardcore analysis on Alum.
No, Alum's really good. And I think that was such a strong statement to start with. No, I think what they did really well was changing up some of his pathing in this game. Generally, he always buys shorty on pistol rounds and full sends in. And I think they really expected MIBR to come in.
The most annoying play.
Yeah, to this game with a read to counter that. As we saw MIBR playing back, playing a lot of retake. But Alum really slowed things down. He played some rounds where he was only diving later into these executes, going deeper for very different pathing. While also then, later in the game, after conditioning that, going back to those initial kind of off-barrier, like fast dash plays. And that kind of variance was really good in throwing MIBR off and still allowing him to bring a ton of value to that dominant first half.
Yeah, and one thing that I really like to see from him is the aggression after. We saw him aggress in the post plans, pushing up heaven on both sides and finding success there. Even if he dies, he doesn't go down without a fight. He always gets his 1-for-1 trade there. Yeah. Even if they have a pick or not, even if they're up numbers or not, it just shows the confidence that he has, especially on that wave, which Coach Shaw was kind of highlighting him for, right? And I know we talk a lot about the Timotino Waylay. I think we should be talking more about Alum. We just haven't seen enough from him yet. That's the only reason why I feel like we haven't talked about him.
No, very good point there. But another thing, too, though, is that in the first map, you were seeing MIBR really just go for fights and win just because they could. The confidence was through the roof. But this time around, though, Athena, it was a different story. As Emily had noted, you were seeing Furia be a bit more aggressive, take a bit more space, be in their opponent's face. And I think like against an opponent like MIBR, you have to do that. Otherwise, they will just take advantage of the game.
Yeah, for sure. It felt like they were kind of getting shut down. A lot of space was being taken away from them, and really quickly at that. And it felt like for MIBR, when they were trying to be a little bit aggressive too, Furia had a really good understanding of their timings and when to kind of play back and let them play into them. And we also saw a lot of that aggression was super successful for Furia, even on Bind, even though they lost it out a little bit. The second they started playing passive, MIBR kind of stepped all over them. But yeah, this was crazy. Furia, they did such a good job at playing that push and pull scenario, being able to just set up on site.
Yeah, I think that the macro on defense for MIBR struggled a little bit as well. They're a team who doesn't play the Yoru here, so will often have pretty long rotations into retakes if their initial read is incorrect because they don't have that gate crash to get across the map almost instantly. And I think we saw a lot of rounds where they didn't have the right site stacked, and so their protocol was to play very passively and play set retakes. And that exact fighting you're talking about from Furia is so disruptive to that style of play. With them switching to double smokes, I would have loved to see them play more on-site anchoring looks because having so many tools to just kind of dance around it. You saw how good Koala was with it in the second half. I wanted more of that out of MIBR.
Yeah, I think just for Furia as well, they were so good, like you were saying, in those post plants because they were also taking space beyond just the site. They weren't scared to kind of fight into that spawn, especially because they knew how long it would take for them to rotate. So a lot of the time, we saw them catch the rotators off guard, just sitting in towards mid, trying to get one of those easy picks, kind of trying to catch them off guard, and it just worked out really well for Furia.
Yeah, and I feel like even in MIBR's retakes, while they were always kind of planning to do that, it felt like they weren't always on the same page. We see them throughout really good utility, but not follow up behind that. And people like Koala Noob, especially, kind of taking advantage of that, picking them apart. He performed so well this map at being that second aggressor behind Alum. He even got so many first picks too. Like, he was just phenomenal, and that's the kind of performance I want to see out of of him, no matter if he's on that dual control or if he's on controller, whatever he's flexing to, we need that consistently throughout the rest of this best of 5.
One of the defining factors of the first map that MIBR won was how much they completely shut down Koala Noob's operator when he was playing on defense. He did really great job of using different util patterns and such to push him off and diminish his impact that has been so excellent all of this tournament. Here, though, he comes out, he's rifling way more, he's playing this controller role, and he's still so aggressive, so confident. I love watching him play as this kind of second entry on that controller and still putting up incredible numbers. It's showing the depth that this player has.
Yeah, he still has a synergy with Alim, and so it's just like really interesting seeing him just like be forward, go in, using his blind, using his TP and his ult to get back into those positions after pushing and after really aggressing really hard.
It's super impressive, and I think we're still in for plenty more in this series, but let's go ahead and hear what's going on over on the MIBR side of things. We have the coach standing by.
I'm here with Frod ahead of the next map. 1-1 now as we come into the third. Looking at how the other team has gotten their stride, the best way to stop that is to find your own. Kind of what was the talk like behind the scenes, and what are you looking for out of this third map?
Yeah, we just got to get off to a really good start. I mean, we've, even though we won bind, we dug ourselves a little hole at the beginning as well. Abyss, just take too long. So I think a big focus is just get off on the right foot, starting off the half, just to make sure, get us a pistol. We've only won one pistol so far, so we got to get that going, get the momentum on our side, and hopefully we keep it rather than having to fight back and all that.
Frod, good luck. Thank you.